Welcome back to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Hope you're doing well out there. We're looking at Batman number 94 today. And I just want to say that there was a whole slew of people out there that have already reviewed this comic. Apparently it's super popular. This is my first stab at this one. I have not read the Batman series that's been going on. I thought this was a one-shot. I was mistakenly read the first couple pages, and it looked like it was going to be a one-shot story because they talked about the Joker War in issues 95 through 100. So I went ahead and picked it up, and so I was a little bit lost at times, but anyway, I did get through it, and I did check out some other reviews on this, and everybody was glowing about it. For instance, we had Fortress of Solitude gave it a 9 out of 10. Wild Beer Reviews liked it. Comic Book University, that guy likes everything. He liked it. Thinking Critical liked it. Weird Science gave it an 8 out of 10, and Kevin Street was also liked it. And there was a number of others that were out there. I just didn't have time to go through them all because there's just so many of them. So this one, they're talking about the relationship between Batman and Catwoman on the cover, but it's not so much in the story. I mean, it's a little bit more of almost a little bit of a reconciliation, but the story doesn't really last that long between the two of them. In fact, Catwoman's never in this pose like this. She is actually in a hospital bed, which we'll take a look at later. So the subtitle is the Dark Knight Prepared for War? Well, let's find out. So this is how the comic started here. Years ago, and it's a young Bruce Wayne, and he's been learning all the tricks of the trade, but he has one last person he wants to talk to. And this has made me think it was a one-shot, just because of the way it was going. And he's also drawing like this little details of Gotham City. I guess he has a habit of doing it when he was younger, drawing the city, trying to develop the best version of Gotham City ever made, and one that would be safe for everybody. But his image apparently includes Batman. So he follows this old man in. It turns out this old man was a former detective, and supposedly a fantastic detective. Doesn't really want to talk to Bruce Wayne. He knows he's Bruce Wayne, which surprises Bruce Wayne. His name is Cassander Wycliffe Baker. Now, I don't know if the Baker is a kind of a play on words for Sherlock Holmes, where he lived at 21 Baker Street, and I'm thinking it is because later on when he's talking to Bruce Wayne, he is mentioning, oh, I noticed that you had this, that, and I can tell you've talked to this person, I talked to that person, just the way you walk, the clothes you're wearing, all these different kinds of things. Now there's a portion that says why he quit becoming a detective. He says, I was humiliated and outraged, so I ran like a frightened child. And a child who has seen the face of his own death. Now they got this panel here, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. So I don't know if this goes back to one of the other issues previously, because I've never seen this character before, or if this is just a one-time in here. Like I said, I'm picking it up right in the middle of the series, apparently, the arc. But it just kind of moves on, and this Detective Baker, takes Bruce Wayne to this room, and it turns out there's thousands upon thousands of drawings all over the place, and they're not unlike the drawings that Bruce Wayne is currently doing, or has been doing all his childhood after the death of his parents. And so he sees that he was trying to come up with his own way of making Gotham safe as well as Bruce. But he says, the lesson I want to teach you is how to lose. And then, of course, we have this sweet little interlude here. You brought me the ocean. Ha ha ha. And they are not social distancing, I might add. So then it cuts to present, and Batman's all beaten up. And this is where I didn't know what was going on all of a sudden. I was like, whoa, what happened? Well, this is apparently what was going on the last few issues, where he came up against someone called the Designer. And actually, that sword sticking out of his leg is from Deathstroke. So, what Joker is behind all this thing? He has hatched a plan to take over all of Bruce Wayne's. He seems to know that Batman's Bruce Wayne. I'm kind of thinking that as well. Bruce Wayne's holdings, his mansion, all his money, his business, everything. He's taken it all. And he wants all his weapons too. So Batman pulls himself together. Lucius Fox shows up. And I'm not sure where this is. I'm assuming it might be the boardroom of Wayne Enterprises or something, but I just don't know because I did not read the last issues. But Lucius helps him out, tries to get him, like, you need to heal, you need to get to a base. He says, no, I don't have time. I got to go out there and social distance. These guys know how to do it right. Thanks, Cyborg. Thanks, Green Lantern. All right, sorry about that. And while they're watching TV, and he sees that the Bruce Manor or Wayne Manor has been taken over. The lawyers are moving in to close everything down and take it over for Joker. And Bruce Wayne is wanted for embezzling millions of dollars, so he's a wanted man. And so here's Batman all beat up and everything, and he's just kind of freaking out. And Lucius is trying to get him to settle down. And Batman ends up finds out that Catwoman has been hurt. And I believe Catwoman was in on the scheme. She didn't know it, but she was part of the scheme to get Bruce Wayne to turn over all his millions. And he finds out she's been hurt badly. And I'm assuming the Joker's crew or Punchline or somebody did this to her. So he's talking to her on the phone. She's in the hospital under the care of Lucius Fox's daughter. And this goes on and on. It's a little melodramatic here, and Batman's kind of vowing, like, once I'm done, I'm going to come back and we'll be together type of thing. And she kind of passes out. And then go to an ad again. So Green Lantern's going to be celebrating their 80th, okay. And then he just freaks out. He gets very angry, and Lucius asks, "Are you crazy?" He's like, "No, I'm going to go out. I'm going to fight the Joker right now." And Lucius is like, "Your leg, it's bleeding. Keep your weight off that leg." And he doesn't care. He just goes out, and there's some great drawing in here, I might add. The story is actually very good. I think I will join in on the next arc, which is called the Joker Wars. It's coming up. So Batman's off to find Catwoman, or Selena, as you might say. In the meantime, we've got these assassins. We've got Deathstroke and Cheshire, and then some others aboarding this private jet, and they're leaving Gotham. And I guess they were hired by Joker. I don't know if they knew it was Joker that hired them or not, but Deathstroke knows something's wrong, and he feels bad for the city, Gotham, the 9 million people that they'll be leaving, that perhaps he may have caused complete downfall of that city. So Batman gets to the hospital, and he finds an empty bed with sheets bloodied, and Lucius Fox's daughter comes in, says, I just went down the hall, she just disappeared. And it turns out, Batman tells her to get the heck out of there. She leaves, and just in time, because then Joker's crew shows up along with the Joker, and Joker's looking pretty scary these days. Very, very scary. And Punchline's along with them. Okay, so basically Batman decides he better get the heck out of there and get out of there fast. The gunmen open up on him, and Batman jumps out the window. So we have a bruised and battered Batman jumping out of a window again. And we go to episode 40 of mine. I did a review of this one, Deceased Dead Planet. Go back and watch it, please, and like it. Okay. Meanwhile, Catwoman, I guess she was taken by the Penguin. I don't understand how she ends up, but she ends up in Penguin's lair. That I believe it's that at the zoo, that abandoned zoo, the Iceland for the penguins. And she wakes up shocked, and Penguin's there, and he's looking pretty bad. And I guess he got kind of beat up by Joker too, or something happened to him because he just looks bad. He's got like a neck wound. And I'll stop with the ads here. Then they pull back, and you see that within this, I think it's the Winter Wonderland at the zoo. His crew is there, not his crew, but other fellow villains from Gotham. Everybody, Mad Hatter, and they're all kind of beat up, it looks like, or have some kinds of wounds. So they're just going to wait out this whole war and then come out. That's kind of their plan. And Penguin's kind of inviting Catwoman to join in that. And in the meantime, Batman is still on the move. He's trying to decide his next move, and he's wondering what he should do. He's wounded, he's beat up, he's crawling up, and and Alfred has been Alfred is now deceased, and he thinks about Alfred a lot, and so he asked Alfred for a sign. Please give me a sign. What should I do next? I know your vision of Gotham was supposed to be one way, and it's turned out another, and it's more my vision. Just give me a sign if I should continue. And there's this huge lightning strike that happens. And if we zoom in on Batman's face, he actually looks suddenly like a bat. And all the bat imagery, cape, the wing, looks like wings, and there's just bats all over the place. Just really nice. And then I go right here to the credits. So the credits are at the end. If I would have saw this at the beginning, I might not have bought it. It says their Dark Designs finale. So this was the end of the first, or that arc, not the first arc. James Tynion IV wrote an incredible dialogue here. The art is awesome. Gilliam March and Raphael Albuquerque were the artists. And here's Batman's parting line is, "Yes, Alfred, I will become a better bat." So we have that next issue to look forward to. I recommend this. Like I said, I'm sorry hadn't read the previous issues, but I picked it up as best I can. And just real quick, this is coming out, and I'm going to pick this up. It's a Black Label. Harley Joker. I think it's Harley is a criminal profiler. It might not be Harley. It might be somebody else. We'll find out. But it looks kind of interesting, and I like the artwork that they're showing here so far on it. So I will be picking this up. I'll put an order in it. And that's what we got for today. I'm glad you could stop by. This is episode 42. It is July 9th, 2020, and it is hot outside. So thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, please share, all those fun things. It's kind of disappointing because I do all these comic reviews, and I started another channel, and I did a story about Scott Baio on my arch rival channel. And it actually got like close to 30 views in one day, and I had like my last 5 reviews I've done just gotten a couple, not too many, but I know there's a lot of reviewers out there doing comic books, so I'm in a sea of competition. So take care of each other, be good to everybody, and I'll see you next time on the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones signing out.